Mike Flanagan, the Honey Badger, Carolyn Dorin Ballard, Pete Tredwell from the USBC.
Oh
Pete is the Managing Director of Memberships and Events at the USBC. And, of course, CDB here is the Director of Coaching at the USBC down on the International Bowling Campus. That's a lot of nationalities there. But welcome into the booth, guys. But real quick, just want to let everybody know on our last segment, we said we would give away 5 bowling balls. We gave away 3. We had Hall of Famers Pete Weber, Norm Duke, Randy Peterson. It got out of control. It was amazing. We had the most viewers that we had. We are going to give away some more bowling balls here today. But USBC has joined us now, and they've been very generous to myself at InsideBowling.com and have partnered with Storm on so many great things, and it's great to have both of you here.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. Yeah, we got some great things going on over there at the International Bowling Campus. We're certifying a lot of coaches, both nationally and internationally. Our numbers are up, which is a really true testament to what all the companies are doing in realizing that educating our bowlers and educating our coaches is something that will help us grow bowling at the grassroots level. And Pete here can talk a little bit more about how we've partnered with Storm on some of our national events and how successful they've been.
Well, yeah, I think the first example to bring up is the huge success that the Bowlers Journal event at the Open Championships in Reno, presented by Storm, has been this year. The numbers are through the roof this year when we moved the event into the National Bowling Stadium.
That was a very smart play, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's really worked out. Brian Lewis and his team on the championship side just made a really smart move, and the numbers are through the roof. I mean, we're continuing to tweak in terms of the scheduling. I think they went to a more of a set schedule. I think next year
they had to.
Yeah, because it was so popular. I think we underestimated how popular it was going to be.
You can't go to the movie anytime you want to go to the movie. Otherwise, you couldn't squeeze as many people in.
Well, back in the old days, that was okay.
Right,
Maybe you could pick your theater by, whenever you walk in, and they say, we'll start the movie when you show up.
Right.
And that's how it used to be.
Right.
But it's been so successful this year, and I think Storm's a big part of that. And so we're certainly pleased with how that's gone. And I oversee a number of our short duration events, including the Masters and the Queens. And the Queens is coming up in right here in Las Vegas, actually, at Sunset Station on Labor Day weekend this year. And, of course, the presenting sponsor of the Queens and the Senior Queens is Storm. Probably they've been a longtime sponsor of women's bowling as a whole. And we're really excited about that. We've got a lot of interesting promotions in play this year to try and generate some new bowlers to the Queens. We can't sit on our hands and expect the bowlers to just come to us. We have to reach out and incent those bowlers to come. We've got a lower entry fee for everybody across the board. We have lower entry fees for international and collegiate players. We moved the event away from what previously was a final exam time for a lot of college players.
Yeah.
We've got to get the collegiate players back in the habit of bowling so that when they leave college, they're already in the habit of bowling the Queens every year.
Right.
And then as it was now, they weren't in the habit, and then they move on with their lives. They get jobs. There's not a tour right now.
Right.
And so we have to get them in the habit right away. And so I think the long-term plan next year, the Queens is going to be in the summer. It's going to be late June, early July. And I think long-term it's going to be in July. We have an exciting announcement coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, you guys in these exciting announcements, you guys just bait everybody and then come in with a live stream broadcast of some sort. And Carolyn Dorin Ballard, are you excited about all these women, all these collegiate up-and-comers being able to bowl now and dethrone you?
I thought you were going to ask me about the exciting announcement. Whoa, about dethroning the CDB. Let's hold off on that a little bit. First of all, I'm so behind growing, especially the women's market.
Not that
I don't want the men's obviously tour to get better, but I for anything that will help grow the grassroots bowlers, especially our high school and collegiate bowlers. I'd like to see us do more with the high school bowlers, maybe some type of mixed tournament where we can bowl with them to show them what it's all about. Maybe a trio as a high school bowler, a collegiate bowler, and a pro bowler, or somebody who's a great amateur bowler. So I think anything we can do to grow that grassroots level and show these women that, hey, I know we only have two tournaments right now that are really geared towards you, but like Pete said, we are really focused at USBC on showing them that we are looking to support them. The industry altogether is looking to support them, and I want them to come out and bowl. You know what? I got to tell you something. I was able to live my dream. I'm one of the lucky ones. I lived my dream, and I'm still living it.
You might be the greatest female bowler in all time with the most titles.
You're playing favorites.
No, what I'm saying is, but we don't know because you weren't able to continue competing when the tour folded.
Right, I could have been. You're right.
You, Liz Johnson, several people. We could.
Yes.
They could have been the greatest female bowler of all time, but it kind of died with Lisa Wagner.
Right, exactly. And the thing is, because
and that pisses me off.
Lisa Wagner not dead. By
no,
she's
not dead. Yes, exactly.
Right, yeah, well, yeah, no.
But,
that's like a game, Dead or Alive. They just played on the radio all the time.
Dead or Canadian.
Yeah. Mike Flanagan, Dead or Alive.
But I do think because, and I hope everybody understands this statement. You know, I was able to live my dream, and I still continue to be able to live my dream because the industry has supported me through everything I've done. That includes USBC, Turbo, Rotogrip. Every industry facet has supported me. And it is my job, along with everybody else who were able to live their dream, to help these girls realize that even though there's only a few events, they have to bowl them.
Yeah.
They have to continue to bowl. They have to continue to go to seminars, be educated, so that we can pass it on, so that when we do get that tour, they are ready. They are ready to bowl.
Yeah.
And by the way, just to clarify something else, I plan on winning the Queens in the U.S. Open.
All right.
So
here.
Whatever.
That's where we need that applause, Louie. We need that applause right there.
And those of you who don't know Carolyn, to say that competitiveness is an exaggeration, it is absolutely not, and she means it 100%.
Well, I just got a tweet from Deandra.
Okay.
No, it's a travesty. Let's just come right out. It's a travesty that there's no women's tour. And everybody, the thing is you have to keep the conversation going. You have to, and it's just not about the money. And everybody says, oh, well, if we got $200,000 right now, we could have a women's tour. If you don't start talking about, and I think we got the right guy in place at Storm as the director of marketing, because
thanks,
in
Louie.
the marketing meeting, it was one of his things in front of Mr. Chrisman and Barbara that we're going to try to put something together. Now, I don't know when, I don't know where, I don't know, I know how.
Yeah.
But as I talking to Roger over here, our business development, but we got the right guys in place. You have to keep talking about it. You remember about 10 years ago, or it's been 10 years ago since you haven't been able to bowl.
Right.
But was it about 5 years ago? I was completely depressed about it, and I'm a man.
Yeah.
But I'm like, and I was
well,
talking to,
left to be determined.
Okie dokie.
TBD.
I was talking
CDB and TBD.
I was talking to CDB about it, and I remember distinctly talking to you. It was at a trade show, and I said, "Is there no hope?" I said that to you. I'm like, "God, there's no hope, is there?" And you said to me, "There's hope." And if you don't keep the conversation going, if you don't have the Deandras and the CDBs and Kelly Kulicks and the girls talking about it, it's been 10 years.
Louie, the hope has got to float.
Yes,
the hope has to float. But here's the thing, Pete said it. Pete said it best. He's trying to come up with ideas through USBC and through what Pete is trying to do. He is trying to make it possible and feasible to reach that audience that we've kind of lost. Correct, Pete?
Yeah. Yep, and we aren't getting that. It's a lot of the bowlers that are bowling the Queens now. We have fewer and fewer younger bowlers. The bowlers in their 20s are not bowling the Queens. It's the 30s and 40s that are bowling the Queens, because I feel like we've lost that younger bowler.
The connection.
And part of that is having the Queens at a time that is not conducive to college. But there's so many exciting college players out there, and we've got to give them an opportunity to bowl this event. Right. And so moving it to the summer, Labor Day weekend is better but not ideal. And so long term, it's going to be in the summer, and giving them that chance to bowl. And so they're right there, like you said, ready for that opportunity.
You know what, Pete, too, and this is what Brad Edelman from High Roller, we've worked with him for years. He's a good friend of mine. And we're all facing the same thing about how to get young people into this sport. And one of the things I told Brad, and I don't know if you can get the USBC to do it, but it's certainly, I'm glad that you're here because I'd like to say it.
And please feel free.
Here he goes.
Well, no.
Suggestion by Louie.
When Brad was talking about how we get more high roller bowlers there, and Brad's looking for the pool, and where's the pool, and Now, and he just knocked out 2 of the tournaments, you know, the high roller in July and the high roller in February. He's trying to get them back. How do we get more bowlers? Look, you can't do it with an ad in a magazine or a little blip on a web page. Brad, come down to the InsideBowling.com tournament where Mike Flanagan had 300 bowlers. Get on the microphone and say, look, it's going to cost me some money this time, but right now I have a certificate for every one of you InsideBowlers.com bowlers to come and bowl the high roller, 1 free entry. And I think for something like the Queens, if you're looking to get younger girls in there, you're going to have to convince people, I think, you're going to have to get the pool there. If you take it in the shorts the first year, so be it. But if you had some crazy idea about all girls who are 25 and under come and bowl the Queens, we're going to do something to you. It can't be just a $50 off the entry. It can't be
maybe
something
like a glamour shot. They can bring back glamour shots, Louie.
It has to be something to get them there, because otherwise we never get them there.
Right.
No, you also have to consider, and I've taken some heat because we're essentially lowering your entry fee to people who have never bowled have never bowled the event, or collegiate players or international players. And I've taken some heat from nobody in this booth actually, but
well, somebody's going to say I bowl
oh my
it
God!
every year.
Wait a minute! Wait, did you hear? I didn't yell at him.
Where's my discount?
Well, exactly. And so we have to balance it. We can't, so. Yeah, we want to do it. We've got to get that pool. And so I'm kind of dipping my toe in the water with trying to grab that pool of bowlers, A, by moving the event to the summer, and B, by lowering the price, making it more feasible for them to come, and hopefully we can make that connection. And that's not a long-term. I'm already thinking about 2014, and we're not going to do the same type of promotion. One thing that's been suggested is we have a recruiters bonus, so that if you bring in a bowler who's never bowled the Queens before, then you get $25 or $50 off your entry. And so something like we got to be thinking about. Those are constantly things that we're thinking about to try and grow that pool of bowlers, so these tournaments stay viable, so that when we do get that opportunity to come along. And one other point I wanted to make, that you guys have talked about, that the conversation has never really gone away. I've been at USBC for 5 years, and I would say not 3 or 4 months goes by when somebody doesn't say, well, what about this idea? Or, how, well, if this happens, could we do this? I mean, we're constantly brainstorming. Right. And there are some people that I know are always thinking about it, and I'll run an idea by them, and, and we just, we're
right.
You just got to wait for that hook.
Exactly. And here's the thing about that, too. And I want people to keep this in mind. And I'm not saying this is the answer either, but even though we have the conversations on it, and I would love for there to be a women's tour again, or a women's circuit,
Let's
whatever.
Just start with another event.
Here's what I want to say. It doesn't necessarily have to be a tour. Who says that the tour is a means to all end? Wouldn't it be fabulous? Wouldn't it just be fabulous if we had 4 women's phenomenal events, the Queens, the U.S. Open, the blah, 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 and the blah, blah, blah. So now you're up to 4, and you work those events.
I'll take one of the blah, blah, blah.
Well, but what I'm saying is, you work those 4 events, and then you hope that somebody catches on, so Natalie can be a pro bowler and throw roto-grip equipment. Right, Natalie?
So Natalie can bowl. But hey, 2013 Bowl Expo live from the Storm booth. We got Pete Tredwell, Carolyn Dorin Ballard, our honey badger, and myself, Mike Flanagan. But the thing that I want to get to here in a minute, we're going to have Natalie mic'd up here to talk about this, but I want to get to know what a day is like at the USBC, and we're going to get to that in a minute. And I want to talk about my relationship with Pete Tredwell, because those of you that are watching, all the viewers that are watching, Pete's in the right position. He's the guy that we want in there, and I want to kind of dive into that in just a minute. But joining us now, Louie, it looks like you got Natalie coming in here. Is that what you got? Helter-skelter there? All right, Natalie. Hi, Natalie, again. Welcome back.
Hi.
Let me ask you something.
Okay.
Do you want to be a woman's pro bowler?
Yes,
do you
definitely.
Do you want there to be a ladies' tour?
Yes.
Okay. How are you going to do that?
Power.
That's right.
I like it. See, and Natalie's got it right. Natalie's at the grassroots level, right?
She is.
Spreading the word of bowling. So maybe we need to take a tip from Natalie and do a little bit more foot traffic through our USBC, through our industry, through our companies, through our social media. Do it at the grassroots level so that maybe it catches on, and you never know. You may find that one person that looks and says, you know what, I want to do this.
Earlier, Randy Peterson said that Natalie was going to be the next CDB. So put those glasses down and show everybody, I am the new honey badger.
Say, I am the new honey badger.
I am the new honey badger.
Now you got to go like this. Grrr.
And then you got to go find some pro bowler to marry.
Okay.
Okay,
Natalie, I have a question for you. Can you hear me? Natalie, can you hear me now?
No.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Okay.
Louie, help her out.
Help her
Jeez,
out,
come on.
Louie. Natalie can't hear me.
Can you hear that?
No.
Try the other side.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Mono channel.
Okay, Natalie.
Yes.
How would you
Very good.
listen, here's a question for you. How would you bring new bowlers into bowling? How would you do it?
I would basically. Okay, so I wanna get one of the lanes that the owner of the bowling center that I bowl on.
The carpet lanes?
Yes, the carpet lanes from Bowler's Ebb, and I want to stop, drop, and bowl in the airports that we go to.
There you go. I like that idea.
That's a good idea.
So we need a sponsor for that. We got to get a sponsor. Everybody listening on Inside Bowling, Natalie wants to buy a carpet lane and she wants to bowl inside the airports. So we need somebody. We want somebody to purchase that lane. I know how much they cost, by the way. I can get you that lane for at least $225, which is a discount, but I can talk John Summer into anything.
Okay.
And from there, we got to get a sponsor who can put their logo on that bowling lane along with Natalie's logo to spread the word of bowling at the grassroots level.
Okay.
I like
that.
it. What do you think?
It's awesome.
And it has to be pink and purple.
Yes.
Yes. And maybe a little hint of red because the honey badger likes red.
Okay.
All right.
Hey,
just
Natalie,
checking.
while we have you here, we have
Yeah.
you for a couple more minutes here. Tell us about your experience here at Bowl Expo.
It was amazing.
What was your favorite booth to visit?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea.
Well, you can start with the one you're in right now.
Haha.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, this is the one where I saw Wes, Carolyn, and all them. So
Yeah.
yeah,
all
Kelly
them.
Kulik. Yeah, Kelly Kulik is over there. Yeah, everybody was over here. Rhino was over there. I don't know.
Are you signed to a contract?
No.
We got to watch that with the NCAA because she's a smarty pants.
Yeah, I
so
know.
she's going to be this one here, a smart girl. She's going to get a
She's
good
so
education.
lucky.
So we got to watch because we don't want to mess with her NCAA possibilities.
Yeah.
Look at this. The
Exactly.
Rules Commission.
I want to make sure. Hey, I got to take care of my girl here.
Yeah, the Rules Commission comes in. I step in a puddle, and she just cleaned it off me. But, Natalie,
Yes.
thank you for being with us.
No problem.
We have some other folks we have to get to, but
Okay.
we wanted to have you in here to talk about women's bowling since you are the future.
Thank you.
And Natalie, we're very proud of you.
Thank
You
you.
should be proud of yourself.
All right, Natalie.
Thanks, Natalie.
Woo, let's give her a
Thank
big
y'all.
woo.
Okay, so I wanted to get back to this, Pete Tredwell.
Yes.
Pete Tredwell, you and I have met each other just a couple of times. We've had a couple of conversations, you and I, Pete. We bonded a little bit at the World Series of Bowling. I fed you a bunch of jargon.
Ideas.
Yeah.
I like ideas.
And
That's more positive.
You've kept the relationship very well. You and Jason Overstreet, Matt Lawson, Matt Kentnazero, the rest of the folks at USBC, Lucas Wiseman involved with Bowl TV and the things that you guys are doing there. We've learned things from you guys with Inside Bowling broadcast. We've kind of cross-promoted. The people at home just need to realize that even though USBC sometimes gets a bad name and that gets overshadowed, you, Carolyn, those people I just mentioned, you guys are it. You guys are keeping up with the Joneses. You guys are the ones going into those meetings, trying to bring the new ideas forward, trying to get more things passed with Andrew Kane now in there as well. And we've seen in the last couple of years a lot of solid things coming from the USBC, and it's just going to continue to get better and better. Can you tell us some of the things that you see possibly developing or that are in the beginning stages and some of the vision of what you guys are trying to do to grow membership and to create these events that we've already had and enhance them?
Well, I guess on the membership side, I mean, there's just I don't even know where to begin. I mean, I think that we have to make sure that we define what membership is. It's not necessarily the traditional member that we've always known. You know, should there be new membership products? Should there be, you know, half-season membership products? Should there be, you know, casual products that are focused on casual bowlers, or should we be focused on tournament bowlers? And one of the fascinating things about being involved in USBC, and I see it all the time, is that everybody gets different things out of USBC. You know, we do so many things, perhaps too many, you know, and it's not hard to find a number of people who value certain things over another at USBC. And, you know, I could walk around this building and find somebody who says, well, this is the most important thing you do, and then somebody else who says, well, that's not important, you got to be doing this over here. And sometimes that can be frustrating. But, you know, we have to be unafraid to make some bold moves, because, you know, the future is not necessarily what worked 10, 20, 30 years ago. And we have to be bold, and we have to be strong, and know that some of those moves are not going to be popular to some people. But if they are right for the future of bowling, then that's what we need to be doing.
Absolutely, yeah. And Pete, I mean this. I consider you a friend. I consider you somebody that if I wanted to ever start some sort of focus group, Pete Tredwell would be one of the first people I would call to put into that focus group. CDB, of course, you're a shoe-in, but just because I have to. No, I'm just kidding. But Pete Tredwell, your position with USBC, the managing director of memberships and events, that really pertains to almost everything at USBC.
Well, it's funny. I'm kind of I don't really have a lot of focus. I came in, as you know, with marketing, communications, media. I spent 11 years working at ESPN.
ESPN, everybody. We need to say that again.
Yeah,
Pete Tredwell came from ESPN.
And he wanted to work in the bowling industry, you know. So
he wanted to work in the bowling industry.
You know, as you know,
Can we
I was
check you for a temperature?
lifetime bowler, certainly a competitive tournament bowler, and so it meant a lot to have an opportunity to be a part of the solution for bowling. And you know, I'm involved with memberships, sport bowling, the short duration tournaments like Masters and Queens, the tournament technology, our travel department, our travel website. We're just in the process of creating a new travel partner. You know, I'm involved with, I oversee the convention, the Hall of Fame committee, the Hall of Fame inductions that we've done last few years have gone pretty well. But you know, the one that I like talking about is that I enjoy most is being involved with the tournaments, the Masters and Queens, and I take great ownership and pride in those events. I mean, I feel like it's a great responsibility to oversee those events and to keep them moving forward in a positive direction. I mean, those events have so much history, you know, and it's such an important part of our industry from the competitive side that we have to keep moving in the right direction. We can't sit still and expect that it's going to continue to move forward. And I wish I were in a position to be able to announce something, but we have an announcement coming in 2 weeks about the future of those short duration tournaments like the Masters and the Queens, Senior Masters, Senior Queens, you know, that pertains to how we're going to conduct those events in 2015 and beyond, that I think is really exciting, and I can't wait to announce it. Just 2 weeks away.
The other thing I want to say, we promote a lot through for USBC in the coaching department. We have regional development and training facilities around the country that have partnered with us that actually teach our programs, teach coaches, teach bowlers about what we are about. And all of what Pete is saying, we include to our regional facilities so that word is always out there. And we're very lucky. Storm is one of our regional facilities. Ebonite, Turbo. We have so many of them around the country, and bowlers and coaches need to take advantage of that, because there's a lot of information out there and education at the grassroots level about what Pete is talking about membership, about tournaments, where you can get training, where you can become a better bowler. And really, it's out there. We just need to make it more recognizable.
Yep, absolutely. Any closing, finishing thoughts, things we need to tell the folks about at home that's coming up with USBC, things they should pay attention to?
Well, obviously your audience is probably a strong tournament audience, and I would just say we're a couple weeks away from a pretty exciting announcement, so just stay tuned for that.
Okay.
And, you know, and I just think that above all, I think understand that you have a lot of very passionate people at USBC that care very deeply about the sport.
When you pay your membership fee, think of people like CDB, Pete Tredwell. These are the folks that are working hard, trying to use those dollars to do great things.
And we want everyone's feedback. It just, a lot of times things are more complicated than they might appear on the surface, and we are absolutely open to answering questions. So there's a bowl.com/contact is where all the different contact information is for everybody at the headquarters.
Pete, is it fair to say that if bowlers get frustrated with things sometimes, is it fair to say that their frustration, you feel it and you live it and you
absolutely
you fight it too?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm a bowler too, and I feel these things. I'm kind of on the inside, so I know more of the details, so I understand why things happen a little bit more. And people on the outside, they just get frustrated, and with social media today, they just put it out there, and they don't know all the details, and they just think that, oh, well, they don't know what's going on. Well, it just, I would invite people to ask us questions, because we're happy to share the details. We just,
Are there days that you go home and you want to pull your hair out?
Absolutely.
Okay. How about the day when I was sitting up in your office till like 6:30 at night? I think, right? Was not right before
it
came
was later
here?
than that. I mean,
6:30, quarter 7.
I've had a couple, and I used to probably had Chad Murphy in this booth before.
Yeah,
no, I have not actually.
But there's been 3 or 4 nights when I've sat in the office until 9 o'clock at night with Chad, just talking about how we can make this better and what works, what's a structure, and and so there's a lot of passionate people at headquarters, and I think that we want to make things better for everyone. It just, we're working as hard as we can and doing the best we can.
Pete, CDB, pleasure having you in here.
Okay, and, as always, a pleasure, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
We love you guys.
Hey, Pete, you're our man on the inside, man. You're our man on the inside. Rage against the machine. Bring it, baby.
That's right. Call us anytime, Pete.
Okay. Thanks,
CDB,
Mike.
thanks.
All right,
we love you.
See ya.